Question 6 is an algebra question. C plus C plus C is not C to the 3. I see that very commonly as an answer. It's 3C. C to the 3, looking like that, will be if it said C times C times C. So it's definitely not. That's a load of rubbish. It's 3C, sorry. Simplify the following. Well, the way I look at this is I call them circles and squares. So we've got circle terms and square terms. I also use different colours. So we're going to go for circles. Our x's are going to be our circle terms, and it's very important that when you circle your x's you include the sign in front. And then you've got your square terms, which are your y terms, and again if you had another, say a z, then create a triangle or something else. We'd create different shapes because you generally just have a single pen colour in the exam, and I'd advise you to use black. And then we put the circles together, so it's 4x take away 2x, leaves you with 2x, and 5y add another y is 6y. Question 7, draw pattern 4 in the space below. So again, slightly long-winded thing, sometimes they produce part of the pattern for you. So how many of these do we need for pattern 3? There's 4 of them. So there's 4 there, you need one more amount on top. So there is pattern 4 drawn. And then for B, how many dots are needed for pattern 15? Well, personally I'd put pattern 1, 2, 3 and 4 up here. Counting the dots you've got in there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in 1. Another 3 on top, another 3 on top, and then just double check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, just to check that you've got the pattern right. And then all I would do is keep adding 3's on. I think this is personally the safest way to guarantee these 2 marks until you get to the 15th pattern. So I'll keep going for a bit and then I'll count where I'm at in a second. So 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th. So that's all we want. So how many dots? 49 dots. Question 8. Got Yusuf is planning a disco party at his youth club. Here are his costs. Disco, hire the room, other costs, and then food. Charges £16 a ticket. He sells 100 tickets. Is there enough money for the ticket sales for Yusuf to pay for all his costs? You must show you're working. Well, first of all, work out how much money he's got to play with, which is £16 times 100. So he's got 1,600. Now cost wise, you're going to be taking off, first of all, the cost of the mobile disco. So take off your 230, well that'll give you 1,370. Then you hire the room, so take off your 150. So that'll give you 1,220. Then take off your other costs, which are 30 quid. Then leaves you 1,190. Then you got to do a bit of working out. It's £12 per person. So £12 per person. There's 100 of them coming. So that's going to give you 1,200. If you take that away, you're left with minus £10. So is there enough money? No. He needs, and you've got to write this sort of sentence down, please. He needs another £10. And you must show your working, so I've done that clearly there. Question 9. Got a table here, temperatures happening. Table shows the highest temperature and the lowest temperature in London and Oslo on the same day. Work out the difference between the lowest temperature in London and the lowest temperature in Oslo. So personally what I'd do here is just write down the 2 numbers that you've got instead of trying to read them directly from the table. So the lowest in both is -7 and -9. So if you put them on a gauge, here's -9, here's -7, 1, 2 jumps, so therefore the difference is 2 degrees. B, work out the difference between the highest temperature in London and the lowest temperature in London. So highest in London is 8 and the lowest in London is -7. So again, think of it on a gauge going upwards. There's -7 is 0 and is 8. So you have to go up 7 to get to 0, then you have to go up another 8. So in total What's the gap between the two? It's 15 degrees. So 15 degrees there. Question 10. Work out these. Nice and straightforward, the first one. So question 10a. A half times a fifth. Just top times top is 1. 2 times 5 on the bottom, 10. Times in fractions is dead easy. It's just top times top and bottom times bottom. What I will do is show you what everyone puts down if they don't understand what they're doing here. On adding, they put down the answer as 4/10. Because they add the 1 and the 3, and then they add the 2 and the 8. Ain't gonna work. You've got to make the bottom number, the denominator, the same. Now I have a personal method for this. There are two methods that are well known and taught. My one I prefer, but there are two. I'll show you both. First one is my preference, is you write down the denominator times tables. So the 2 times table and 8 times table in this case. And you write them down until you get a common number in both. Now 8 is common in both of them. So what I do is I count down on here, 1, 2, 3, 4, so it's the fourth number down. So I'm going to times all of this fraction by 4, because it's the fourth down. And this one's the first number down, so times this fraction by 1, therefore giving me the same fraction. And then that adds together to give me 7/8. The other method for doing this is, some people call it the kiss and the smile method, where you cross over here and then you've got a smile underneath. So you've got your 8 times your 1 plus, then we've got 2 times 3, and then the bottom bit is these two bottom numbers times together here. Now the issue with this is it can give you massive numbers to deal with, so I prefer the top one because it's very simple once you've done this side. This will then give you 8 plus 2 times your 3 is 6 over 16, which gives you 14 over 16. Then you have to cancel it, half top and bottom, to give you 7/8, which is the same answer as we got in the first method. Either method is acceptable. Personally, my preference is the top one.